If I had $1 million.
If I had $1 million.
Hey, what's up? It's the Geekish podcast. Hey, thanks for joining us so much, as always. I'm Bino, and this is Derek here. We are the dudes behind the Geekish podcast, where we talk about the nerdy, geeky things that randomly come to our mind every week. So thanks for being a part of that. Now,
thanks for sticking through that intro.
Hey, I wrote it just now. But Derek, let's give everyone the lead in on what we are going to discuss this week.
Okay, so if you've listened to our podcast before, you know that we have eclectic brains, something, that just go off on random tangents, right?
He means kind of broken ones.
So the other day at work, I was sitting there and I was reading an article about something, and it talked about Brewster's Millions, which is a movie from the 80s with Richard Pryor. I want to say.
Give them the breakdowns, because I had heard the name Brewster's Millions, but believe it or not, I'd never actually seen it or knew much about it. So you threw that at me, and I gave you the, I'm not sure what that is, so fill me in.
Right. So like I was reading this article, and it nonchalantly used that as a reference, and I was like, I forgot about that movie. I had seen it maybe once in the 90s. The whole premise of it, though, is he's a baseball player, fails out. He has a relative that ends up leaving him, what did I say, like $300 million?
Yeah, some ungodly amount like that.
And the caveat to him collecting that inheritance is he has to spend $30 million in 30 days. So I was like, oh, I forgot about that movie. That's a good premise. And I was like, if I had some unknown relative leave me $300 million, and the only caveat to me getting that would be to spend $30 million in 30 days, you can't really tell people what you're doing. You can only, because what were the rules on that? I don't have it in front of me. You can't tell people what you're doing. You can't donate too much to charity. So you can't just go to charity and go, I'm going to give you $30 million, because one of the rules is you can only donate like small amounts.
Let's look at the year. Okay. He's required to spend every penny of his grandfather's million within 1 year, resulting in no assets or property held from the wealth at the end of that time.
Okay, it's a year. I thought it was 30 million, 30 days.
I think the 30 days is the better guys going, because especially today, I could like log in on my PayPal account and blow through $1 million before the end of the podcast without much of a problem if I really wanted to.
Could you spend let's go. Let's say you have to spend basically $1 million a day in a month. So you have to spend $30 million in a month. Do you think you could do it?
I have no doubts that I could if I needed to.
But here's the thing.
But I feel like we need to do some caveats, though. We have to discuss some of these, because there's certain things that you could just blow that money in one spot, but there's other things that go along with it, too. Like, I'll buy a $10 million mansion. Well, you have to then pay to upkeep the mansion, so that's a terrible way to spend the money right now.
Right. But because that's exactly the thing. As I was like, well, you could get rid of a good chunk of that by, buying some property and everything like that. But like you said, you'd have to upkeep that, and then that's going to eat at your other inheritance, and that's just not a wise financial decision. Mm-hmm. Now, are you allowed to pay off your friends' bills, buy them stuff, buy them a house or anything like that? I mean, but also if you did that, yes, you would feel like a good person, but then they would feel like they owe you something, right?
Oh, I've got the perfect workaround for that. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
The workaround for that's what I've already devised my plan. If I ever win the Powerball, I've already got this back plan in my head ready to go. Okay. But I don't need a mansion with 35 bedrooms. I'm just going to buy myself a neighborhood. And then all the people I want to live near me can live in my neighborhood. And we will have one hell of a community center.
So you're going to go to like D.R. Horton and tell them that you want this cul-de-sac? Yeah,
except for like a good builder. Like,
damn.
just say. But these are going to be nice things. And everybody do like a little bit of their own eclectic design on houses, so they don't look cookie cutter the same. Like, I want one to look like a 16th century medieval castle. I want another one to look like something straight out of the Jetsons. Like, throw some flair in there.
So basically you're saying you're going to have to buy a chunk of property and start your own neighborhood on it, because if you did that with like neighborhoods that are already developed and you tagged onto that, the HOA is not going to let you build that house.
Yeah. So basically what you're probably have to buy a small city or an island, in all honesty.
I was going to say, what you're saying is you want to make a commune.
Yeah, kind of.
That's what you're saying.
We'll have good Kool-Aid.
Nope. If you come out with Kool-Aid, I'm not drinking it.
Beano-Aid. It's what plants crave.
Okay, so
our discussion today was going to wrap around what kinds of things we would blow oodles and oodles of money on if we had to spend it right now.
Because I think the whole premise is you have to be a little selfish with it. Because yes, like the thing, I think one of the stipulations was you could give to charity, but you just can't give a lot, which sucks. But yeah, so you'd give some to charity, obviously. But I think the rest of it is the stipulation is you have to be selfish with it and get stuff.
For sake of conversation, let's go all selfish, because with that much money, there's a lot of good you could do in the world. With a lot of the billionaires out there now could do a lot that they're not choosing to do. So me saying, hey, I want a race car is not me saying, hey, no, I don't want to help poor people, or hey, no, I don't want to save starving animals or something like that. It's this is just the fictional, hey, they've got a bunch of money, you need to blow out a bunch of stuff, go.
I guess you could look at it this way too, is the morality of it is you're getting 300 million, but you just have to spend 30 million selfishly. So you spend that 30 million selfishly, you're still going to have this huge chunk of money where you can still help out charities a little bit. So.
We'll feel better if we spend the $30 million in 30 days, then another 30 million goes to charities of said choice. How about that?
Sounds good.
That make us feel good? Okay.
Yeah, that's the feel good story we need real quick.
And I also think we also need to justify that these need to be somewhat real purchases, right?
Oh, man.
We're not talking about, like, I want to get the TARDIS and a Star Trek spaceship. Like, no, these need to be realistic things that exist now in the year 2020.
All right. So let's see here. First of all, I would come up with the most outlandish screenplay and take it to Hollywood and give them 10 million and say, make this happen. I just think that'd be fun. Like, here's my life story, embellished a little bit, but let's make this work.
That could be fun.
Well, because I mean, you look at some of the movies out there that had a budget of like, what, 5 million or something like that, and they're pretty good. And then you look at some of the movies that had a budget of like 300 million, and they suck.
I can see you right now pitching it. Look, guys, I want to make Waterworld 2, but I want to film it in Eaton, Colorado. You're going to bring in a whole lot of water.
Sir, you know that's a landlocked state, right? Exactly.
See, I honestly think if I had to do that all of my acquaintances and con-goers that are artisans might be rolling in it as well, because I would be commissioning artwork out the wazoo. I've always dreamed about having like family-style oil paintings, but done like in super geeky ways. Like have a painting of myself on the wall, like the oil painting of Napoleon style, but like as a Star Wars character or something like that.
See, you're right. I would probably get like a legit costume made, like legit
Hollywood quality. No, that's
better than Hollywood quality. You know what I'm saying?
SEAL Team 6 quality.
Yes, I want this Boba Fett costume to not only look authentic, I want that to fly. You got it?
I want to look good at a con, and I possibly want to be able to take out a cell of terrorists.
Well, so I was going to say we could remake Transformers, but that cost $147 million to make, so I guess.
I would also have, for my house and neighborhood, I've always dreamed about having a nice, large pewter statue of Optimus Prime with some quotes carved in it, like as a fountain in the front entryway. But that might have to move to the front of the house, like into the atrium, because I also thought that I might have to create a Serenity Ranch of some kind, because I would really love people to pull up past my mailbox and have a giant wooden sculpture of Jane Cobb.
Well, you could go even further and just take it to Joss Whedon and say, here, I'm going to give you $15 million. Can you do another season of Firefly?
You can build the set in my yard. I'll probably take more than $30 million for that, though. And,
yeah.
A lot of people have lots and lots of animals roaming around. I'd probably get some pets, but I think I would love to have a couple of those Boston Dynamics robot dogs.
Just don't kick them over. Well,
I'd have one that I would treat like crap and just to see what it does to its AI, and treat the other one really nice. But
okay.
they only cost about 75 grand. So for 150 grand, I have 2 of them and do my little AI social experiment with them.
I'm surprised you wouldn't want, because I mean, what? There's somebody in Japan that made a full-on mech suit, right?
Oh, that's on the list too.
Okay.
We're just getting started.
Well, what's that website? Is it This Is Why I'm Broke or something like that? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Because that website right there, you're sitting there going, "Oh, this is so good." And you click on it, you're like, "That's $1 million." Excuse me. Is that what it's called? This is why I'm broke.com.
There is a website that does that, and it looks like there are some pretty ridiculous things on here.
Mm-hmm. Heck, I would just go through that list.
And a Rorschach inkblot mask. That's pretty sweet.
Dude, I shouldn't have told you about that website.
An inflatable speedboat? Come on. Just pack it up in the trunk and bring it with.
All right. So, because you mentioned something. So, you know how people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go buy a mansion." Well, that's upkeep, right? And then some people are like, "Oh, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of animals." That's upkeep as well. Because if you get so many of them, you're going to have people that take care of them. You're going to have the food, the shelter, and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Start eating at your money a little bit. So I'm pretty sure. Do you think we could get like Peter Cullen or Frank Welker to like narrate our day in a life? Just follow us around and narrate the whole day for some money? Like
I would hope if there's enough of it. Would you want to do it live, or would you want to give them have a record the day and then have them add some flair to it?
No, I would you fly them in, you get to hang out with them for the day, but they have to narrate your life every once in a while. Like, Beto looked like he was going to get the salad. He did not.
See, I like where you're going with it. I feel like with Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, I would love to have them post edit and narrate my day, put back together. I feel like if somebody was going to go around with me live, I'd want somebody like Billy West to do it.
Because he can do more than one voice?
Well, lots of voices, and he seems like he's much more of that comedian, zany, on-the-spot type of stuff.
I was going to say, I mean, look at Frank Welker's voice catalog. He's done a lot of zany stuff.
Yeah. But let's be honest. I just want him to read me things in Optimus Prime's voice.
Hey, Peter, can you do my voicemail for me?
We're going to take that one step further. I'd like you to re-record the entire Google Assistant library.
Hey, Frank Welker, I need you to redub all of Megatron's voice in the Michael Bay series, please. There you go. Make them better. Well, I'm pretty sure you're... What?
I was going to say we could even do something like that, like buy the rights to the original Transformers G1 series, give it to some writers and be like, hey, we're going to take this and up it up just a notch, and then let some high-tech animation come through to have some modern top-line anime redo of the original Transformers series with the original storylines but updated and changed a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that'd be more than $30 million.
It can be a start.
Sir, this will get you 2 episodes.
That's all I need.
Oh, man. Well, okay, so I know you're like me. You have a wish list on Amazon. You have a wish list on eBay. Granted, that's not going to eat through a huge chunk of the money. Okay, maybe not.
I'm not going to share my private wish list right now. Not that one. I have high hopes for a lot of things.
Okay. So you're ready to just click buy now once you hit that Powerball, right?
Yeah, on a few things. And I know we said it wouldn't blow money on a lot of vehicles, but what about just special occasion vehicles that I don't have to worry about so much upkeep, get like a blanket insurance policy, but have one of those movie car assortments, just buy a warehouse and Gone in 60 Seconds style, you just put all the cars you want in there. So you've got an Ecto 1, you've got an A-Team van, you've got a Jurassic Park Jeep, you've got a Batmobile, you've got a DeLorean, just all there. Just, which one you want to take out today?
3 of those vehicles will fall apart really quick if you're not maintaining it, especially the DeLorean.
You buy one that's already put together well.
Okay.
Hey, we're talking 30 miles ago, but I'm sure you could find somebody that has painstakingly put back together a DeLorean that is top notch, and you give them enough money that it could be in your garage.
See, I was thinking when you said that, I was like, oh, immediately my mind was the Bond car, the Vanquish, the Aston Martin Vanquish V12.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's one of my dream cars. I'm ready to buy now on that one. So I would hands down have that one. Do I need it? No. But if I had to spend $30 million in 30 days, okay, I'd do it. Now,
you know what else I would do, because I'm still convinced that I'd be one of the most fun rich people around, but I would love to get something like that Aston Martin Vanquish, just so I could go be like a DoorDash driver for a few weeks.
Dude, no, I'd be a Lyft driver just for a little bit, just to have fun.
Well, it'd be tough though, because there's not a whole lot of seating in the back of those, are there?
I'm sure you can modify it.
I got the Vanquish extended cab.
Don't push that button though.
That would be fun to be an Uber driver. Just go get the biggest, nicest little luxury machine and just I'm going to give people rides tonight. Let's see what happens.
They request a ride and they'll sit there like, Beano's on the way, and that can't be right. Pull up in a semi that looks like Optimus Prime.
With Peter Cullen walking him to the seat.
No, dude, you'd get it. So like when you hit the horn, it'd be a voice of Peter Cullen doing Optimus. That would cost some money, right?
Yeah, that would.
Plus, I mean, you'd have to take the CDL license to get the license to drive the big rig. But
well, this is where this is almost charity, because it's selfish, but a lot of other people could get enjoyment about that.
You'd be invited to cons.
You just time it right, and you have the right kind of things. I mean, this could be amazing.
We just started a new business venture. Transformers lift rides.
Even if it was just a lower scale, imagine the Mystery Machine. Who would not want to get picked up in there as their Uber driver, the Mystery Machine?
True.
Especially because you pull up on the screech to a halt and go, zoinks, get in, quick!
Jinkies! But here's the thing, too, is if you're going to do the Mystery Machine or the A-Team van or the Supernatural car or any of that, you have to dress the part.
Oh, yeah. That just goes without saying there, because as we talked about at the beginning of this, if we had $30 million to go through, there'd be a whole lot of very high-end costumes that would be commissioned hanging in my closet.
Well, I don't think you need to pay a lot of money for a white sweater and an ascot, but, you do you.
I don't know if you've been ascot shopping lately, but finding one that works.
So, would trips count? Like, would you have to take those trips within 30 days, or could you book it out?
Well, you'd hope you have to book it out, because we can't really take any trips outside of the country right now. Nobody will have us.
Okay.
I'd buy a whole bunch of non-refundable tickets to Hawaii that I can't use.
Say we're in a different timeline. We can go out and about. Would trips count? Like if you booked it, booked a trip for next month, and then the 2 months down the road, and then next year at different places around the world, or you just tripped a month trip out.
I would think under the Brewster's Millions rules that it would not count, because you would have to use that money before either the trip would have to happen within 30 days. Because I could book a trip for next year and then I can cancel it.
True. Yeah. Okay. So
I feel like if you went on that trip, you'd have to go on a trip, and that would have to be you're on that trip and you're spending that money right now. You'd have to like Yes Man style, going to the airport. Like, where's the most expensive place I can go? Let's do it.
Don't go to Nebraska. If you're going to do it Yes Man style, don't go to Nebraska.
Yeah. Hello, Cleveland.
Well, here's the thing: is you could do the way that a lot of travel companies are now and everything like that. You could probably book something next day for, a luxurious trip to Japan to go look at their Gundam factory, in a 5-star hotel, that type of stuff. Again, that's not going to bring you close to $30 million. It'll help take a chunk out of it, but you would have to. I think spending $30 or $30 million in 30 days is harder than you think it is. Because even that trip itself would be maybe $500,000, right?
Let me look something up here.
Oh, we're gonna do some math. Don't accidentally book a trip to Japan, dude. You'd have a hard time explaining that one. While you're doing that, I would probably get like, because we've talked about this before, where we get to design our own house, put in secret passageways and everything like that. I'd get my own arcade going on in there with probably all the games that I would love to have that I couldn't think of in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a few of those on my wish list of like, oh, I'd really love to get this game, but it's, kind of pricey right now, so I'm not going to do it.
Why can't I see my price estimates?
It's because they want you to book.
I don't want to book. I just want to know how much it is to rent a private jet to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, private jet.
Yeah, if you're spending $30 million, you're not flying coach. Come on now.
No, I was just thinking first class, but yeah, man, see it with our powers combined.
I can spend money. Let's see here. Okay, we're trying from, say, Denver to Japan. Sure, we'll try that. Why not?
A private jet would probably run you another 500, so there's $1 million, right?
Oh, we could spend this quick. Just a one-way private VIP airliner on the second website I checked at would be somewhere between $121,000 and $267,000.
That's it?
For one-way flight.
Yeah, so I was right. If you got a private jet, it'd be $500,000 right there.
Yeah.
See, that's still only $1 million because, well, no, like it's
you said $30 million in 30 days.
Right, that's $500,000 for just
one round trip flight, and that's 2% of your money.
Well, that's good math. Good job.
Plus, you go there, and wherever you're staying in some luxurious top-line hotel that's probably, $5,000 a night?
Yeah, but still, $5,000 a night, you stay there for 5 days. That's not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, in our aspect of being poor schmoes, yes. But in the aspect of $30 million in 30 days, you better sit there and get that private jet there and be like, keep the meter running. I'll be back in 6 days.
I just want to paint this picture for you. Okay. Trip to the private jet in luxury sports car rental, probably $400 or $500. Your round trip airfare on the VIP airliner, we could go for we'll go for a higher end. Well, let's say it's $600,000 for the highest end plane they've got.
Okay.
Then you're looking
your finest Gatorade.
Let's say we stay there for 5 nights.
Okay.
And stay at
$5,000 a night.
$5,000 a night, plus emptying the mini bar every night. So you're up to another $50,000 on top of that. Plus, you're renting your Aston Martin supercar while you're in Japan, right?
No, I would not.
Okay, so
I would have somebody chauffeur me around. Come on.
So we're touring Japan in a private helicopter.
Oh, okay, there you go.
At another $20,000 or $30,000 a day.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and it could be doable, but there could be a lot of money spent. Because if you're spending $30,000, it's not just on going out and impulse items. You're getting some big ticket things to go along with it.
It could be doable, but when it's all said and done, that's still maybe $9 million right there.
And that's 1 week out of 30 days.
I would want to stay longer than a week. I mean, I think $9 million would take you longer than a week. Because you're going to get tired, man. You want to make sure that you do everything. So,
like I said, it's all in the big ticket items, and I think of the long term things. We can't just blow yourself on a huge Manson, but what kind of things are going to bring me joy? A large warehouse. You said visiting the Gundam Museum. I want to take a couple of those home with me. That's not going to be cheap. You know what the shipping cost is in a full size Gundam suit?
What is it? I'm pretty sure they have a Gundam suit on thisiswhyimbroke.com. I know they have a mech on there.
Let's see here. They estimate building a real one would cost $725 million, but there's also tech well beyond what we can do right now. Just throwing that out there. There's a Gundam cosplay for about $2,000 on eBay, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, you want something that's like a staple where people in the neighborhood, you can charge them $5 a pop to come and look at it. I remember
October 1st, 2021, the Gundam Global Challenge. They have a life-size scale, 18 meters tall, remote-controlled Gundam robot that will be on display at the Gundam factory in Yokohama.
Wonder how much that's going to cost. That's probably more than $30 million right there, I would say.
Let's find out. I'm doing some calculations here.
Because I'm trying to think too. Is like when I went to, was it Ripley's? When we were in Paris, they had a giant like life-size Bumblebee from Transformers. That was pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool to have. I'd want the original version, not the Michael Bay version, but
that's true. That'll ruin the whole thing. Okay, this thing's a whole tourist attraction, so they probably don't have an actual just specific cost. But, something like that, you could blow through a lot of money with that.
What about renting out a theme park just yourself for your friends? That'd be, what, $1 million? $2 million? Right?
Easily.
That'd be fun.
But still stipulate it. No, I want every one of your employees working just in case they go to what they're doing.
Sorry, folks, the park's closed.
Huh. I feel like that's what the money would do, would be to take things to the next level of those experience of not getting tickets to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but renting it out for a weekend.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, we're flying to Japan already. Let's just rent out Nintendo Land. Yeah. See? See?
I like where you're going with this. Where you're going with this.
So we're flying in this private jet, right? It's already costing us $500,000 because we rented the thing. We can fit. How many people can you fit in a private jet? 10, 12.
Well, we can get a bigger private jet too. It doesn't have to be a little tiny Learjet.
Well, we can rent
out a 747 if you want.
We don't know that many people. Come on.
Hey. If we put out on Facebook that we were looking for 150 people to go on an all-expenses-paid trip to Mario Land in Japan, I'm pretty sure we could fill it up real quick.
Yeah, but you want to go with people that you're going to enjoy. You just don't want some Joe Schmo off of Facebook that argues with you about whatever. Because, we could easily find people who would want to take an all-expenses-paid trip. But you want to enjoy it. You want to enjoy your time. So I think that's where you get like.
Well, here's what the standard, because I could find
we are spending money. You're right. We're spending money.
We could fill a plane with people that we like. They don't all have to be people that would like get as much out of Mario Land as we would, but we need spectators, right? True. If we're gonna race Mario Karts.
Here, put on this hat. Why am I a mushroom? Just do it. Just trust me. Just jump up and down.
We got lots of friends with kids that will be super excited about it, even if they weren't.
Oh, while we're there, yeah, can you put me in a video game? How much would that cost?
That's true. It's true. And we can do some nostalgia stake too. Like, I would probably say, you know what? I want to pay somebody to recreate the American Gladiators assault course just so I can go through it.
Just so you can prove that you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would do that with Legends of the Hidden Temple. I'd be like, look, this monkey statue's not that hard. Same
thing with Double Dare. Have somebody create an actual Double Dare course. You pay the right people enough money. If you said, I want a TV-ready recreation of the Double Dare studios, you could pay enough to make that happen.
Yeah. Or, just call the producers of like Wipeout and say, hey, I just want to run the course. I don't need to compete for money, but just let me do the different parts of the course so I can see if I can do it. Because in my mind, I know I can, but I want to prove to myself. Yeah, we could make it happen.
See, and these hijinks, we talk about all this. I don't know what you're thinking, but a lot of these things we'd be sharing with the world too, adding to everybody's amazement, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was thinking too, is like, not only you'd be adding to that, but like, this is a glimpse into our heads of stuff that we actually have thought about at one point in time. Because I was also thinking too, is like, oh man, just go down to Hollywood and you know, say what's filming right now, or nothing's filming right now, but in a different timeline, like a Marvel movie's filming, like, hey, I want to be an extra.
Yeah. I don't want to change the plot or anything. I just want to be eating a sandwich in the background while they're talking.
Yeah. Or I want Captain America to lift me from a pile of rubble. Like, can you make that happen? Like, come on. You don't have to pay me. I'll pay you.
I feel like it would be, if we're going with selfish, be a lot of wasteful things too, because I would want to start attempting a lot of the things that you would never actually attempt, like filling up an entire swimming pool with Jell-O to see what it's like, or making a 9-foot wading pool full of boba balls that you can just dive into and see what happens. Like,
yeah.
Tell me that thought's never crossed your mind.
Oh no, it definitely has.
Doing a cannonball into a diving well full of vanilla pudding.
Maybe not that one. I heard that. I could hear the sound. No. Jell-O would be fun, but not pudding.
What's wrong with the pudding?
Nothing.
I just imagine it would be very like anticlimactic because it probably wouldn't splash. You'd be like, "Yay!" Where'd he go?
See, the Jell-O at least would you bounce it up. Pudding, I feel like you just sink and then you're trying to get out and then be like, well, he was trying to spend $30 million and he suffocated himself with pudding. Oh, yep. See.
This is what's wrong with me. This tangent led me to think of how thick of a wall of Jell-O could you break through at full speed run?
We have a way of making that much Jell-O where we could try it.
Exactly. You have to just do something that can do that. You're talking like a Jell-O jiggler that is a 6x4 foot top. But how many inches of Jell-O can you get through before you get stopped?
A Jell-O jiggler. Oh my god.
Would that not be a great effort just to see what could happen?
That would cost maybe $5,000. Maybe.
Hey, I'm just saying, if money's no option, that's one of those things to be doing there. On one of my off days.
The concierge at the hotel in Japan Day, hey, I'm going to be there for a while. I need you to start working on some Jell-O. No, I don't need a bowl. I need like a pool filled of Jell-O. So that'll take probably a couple weeks to set. So you might want to start now.
Well, you got to have some spectators on it too, because the safety thing, if you get it too thick and you get stuck in the middle, somebody's got to dig you out, right?
We need really hungry people standing on the side with spoons ready to save me, please. I don't care if you don't like lime. That's what you're going to have to eat.
Lime? Who's going to do lime Jell-O for this?
Me.
Lime.
What about like recreating, like the Nintendo World, but like going down to like the paintball place and we'll actually recreate a level from Modern Warfare with paintballs. That'd be fun.
Make some paintball and or laser tag arenas that are like studio authentic. Ready. Yeah. That'd be awesome. I'm down with that.
Fly in SEAL Team 6 and give them some paintballs or some airsoft guns and see if you can best them.
I also feel like I would fund some things like, did you see the trailer for that, I think it was a Quibi movie where they did the home video version of The Princess Bride?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the whole thing because I can't bring myself to pay for yet another TV service, especially for 10-minute shorts. But the idea behind that, I feel like I would love to fund a project where somebody wants to make lots and lots and lots and lots of those.
Yeah, because then you just
get celebrities on board, like some Good News vibe of John Krasinski's show of like, we're going to recreate some classic movies with Hollywood celebrities, but it's going to be with like video cameras and backyard shenanigans. Let's make it happen. I don't have the creativity to make it all amazing, but I'm going to pay somebody else to make lots and lots of really good ones.
Well, then on top of that, you could just be making an investment because the sponsorships and ads on them come back to you. So.
And look at that, we're Hollywood executives. Now we can pay for our mansion.
Still don't get a mansion, though. Bad idea. Anyway, we can keep going because my mind is full of stuff.
I'm going to have some good dreams tonight. I'm just saying you that.
Yeah. Don't dream by, though. I think you have a tendency to sleepwalk, so don't wake up. And don't get that. I don't want to get a text from you and go, We got to start a GoFundMe because I bought a private jet to Japan.
Let's be honest. If I called you up and said, I accidentally bought a Gundam suit or I need to get a second job, please help, you'd be excited.
It would be funny writing that GoFundMe for you.
But as you said, we could talk about this forever, and I'm gonna have some really, really messed up, amazing dreams tonight. But what would you spend things on if you had to be selfish and spend a whole bunch of money right now? What kind of things would you buy, do, see, pay for? Again, with the caveat that all of the good things you could do with it would have to come after the fact because you have to be selfish to get more of it to do the good things.
Mm-hmm. I also think you need to watch Brewster's Millions. So.
Apparently I do.
There you go.
Have another aspiration. Go watch it and buy some lottery tickets. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comments or on social media at Get Geekish. And we'll be just as poor as we are right now, but we'll be talking to you again next week.
Make it rain!